Hi, this is Sarah Mikesell with the Poultry site, and today we're here with Dr. Aldo Rossi. He is the Vice President of Innovation and Technical Services at Amlan International. Thanks for being with us today, Aldo.
Well, thank you for having me.
Very good. And today, Aldo and I are tucked away kind of in the Amlan International booth at IPPE in Atlanta, Georgia, here in the United States. And today we're going to talk about biotoxins. What threat do biotoxins like T2 toxin pose to poultry health and performance, Aldo?
Yeah, so there's several types of toxins, biotoxins. One of them is produced by funguses. Others are produced by bacteria. So they each attack different parts of the animal and the animal system. But if you look at a mycotoxin, for example, it starts taking effect immediately once it's being consumed. So you mentioned T2, for example. It can actually start causing lesions in the mouth, and eventually it gets down to the intestinal system and starts causing intestinal cell death, enteritis. And then eventually those toxins get absorbed into the bloodstream and then start affecting other organs and other parts of the animals. Primarily with fungus toxins, the mycotoxins, they can affect the reproductive system. So you can affect egg production, fertility, hatch, even egg quality. Also affects the immune system. So now the immune system is trying to fight that, but also diminishes the immune system's ability to fight off other diseases. So things are having an impact on livability and other performance issues, weight gain.
It sounds like they can kind of wreak havoc as they move through a bird, right?
Absolutely, and they start getting stored up inside the bird, primarily the liver. It gets stored there, and then it starts being distributed even after it's been consumed, much time after, into the system of the bird.
Right, it's really in the system. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
Very good. What solutions does Amlan offer to combat these challenges?
Yeah, so we have a broad portfolio, but the base of our portfolio is on our clay. It's a very unique compound. Calibrin Z is the name of the product internationally, and we have a similar product here in North America and the U.S. Unique mineral composition, has very large internal surface areas for absorption of these toxins. We also go through a proprietary process of the clay to enhance that ability to absorb these toxins and broad spectrum toxins. So from the aflatoxins, which most clays bind, but also then we have the broad spectrum of all the key mycotoxins most people are concerned about in the industry. And as I mentioned earlier about biotoxins, including the endo and exotoxins from bacteria.
Very good. And folks might be able to visually see some of the kind of visuals of how the clay binds. I mean, your clay is very special, right?
It is. Again, as I mentioned, it's in composition. We have one part of that mineral is called opolepispheres, and it provides several different things. So it's unique to the calcium mountain marillonite family of clays. And the uniqueness is that it not only adds additional binding sites and surface area, which is all internal, interconnected surface areas, but it also allows the product to maintain its structure even through the thermal processing that we go through, which again enhances and broadens the spectrum of toxins that it binds.
Interesting, so interesting. And here at IPPE, you're able to demonstrate this rapid speed of toxin binding.
Yes. So again, there's several clay products out there that bind toxins, but to be very successful in the real world, you have to be able to bind several different types of toxins, as I mentioned, but also how fast you bind them is very important. Most of these toxins, like mycotoxins, within 30 minutes of consumption, 90% of them are being absorbed. What is consumed, 90% is being absorbed into the body. So now you're already having its effect both in the surface inside the gut, but as well externally throughout the body. So absorbing those toxins quickly is key to minimizing their impact on the animal's performance. We have several studies that show that within a minute, depending on the toxin, we can bind up to 99% of those toxins within 1 minute.
Wow.
Yes, it's very fast. Several of the other ones we can bind up to 95, 96% of them within a minute. And it's much faster than most of the competition that we have tested against.
Right. And so it just minimizes the damage, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It doesn't give it a chance to attack the gut or anywhere else in the body.
Well, I know some of your visuals here talk about the need for speed, and that really explains that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a video that's being shown here at the booth that visually shows people how quickly it can absorb toxins.
Oh, wow.
And so we have 2 tubes with a toxin in there, and it actually has a color to it at certain pH. And then we add our clay to it, and you can see how quickly it binds that toxin and eliminates it and settles on the bottom.
Amazing. Very cool. Well, I'm always, the more I learn about your Mount Murillo, and I am like fascinated by it, and the surface area and all the different components to it really are interesting to me. It's different and it's unique, right?
Absolutely, yes. In addition, we have complete control, vertically integrated. So we mine it from one mine. We have complete control of that mine. Amlan does.
Right.
And so we have consistency in the product.
Right.
We know exactly where it's coming from, and we distribute from there all the way around the world.
Yeah, it makes all the difference. So thank you so much, Aldo,
welcome.
for all the information today. We really appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome. I enjoyed talking to you. Thank
Thanks,
you.
you too. This is Sarah Mikesell with the Poultry Site.